Hi everyone, I am here with a Bible reading. I hope it touches your guys' hearts. I know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm out of my head again. And
When aren't you?
it's the hot flashes and everything. I need my progesterone.
Go to the doctor.
No, I'm not going to the doctor until summertime. It'll have to wait.
You'll be a
I know.
hot mess then.
I always am. Anyway, it's going to have to wait. Or I'll get some over-the-counter crap. That's what I used to use anyway. I'll try that black cohash stuff, see if it works. And I know it ain't progesterone, but it might help with the hot flashes. We used to use it. Cindy might have some. I forgot I was on. Am I on? Hi everyone, I am here with your Bible reading. I hope you guys are having a good day. Sorry about that. Not feeling very well today. Been sick all morning. Sick on and off for a few days. Stomach's been really messed up and just not feeling well. Comes and goes. I'm on a better spell right now. This morning I was feeling pretty bad. Okay, it looks like we're going to read Matthew chapter 9, verses 18 through 38 today. Jesus raises a dead girl and heals a sick woman, it says. So, if I'm guessing right, I'm guessing it's going to be Jesus raises a dead girl. I think it's going to probably be Jairus' daughter, if that's who I'm thinking. And I'm thinking the girl that was around 12 years old, who they thought for sure that was dead, but Jesus said was only sleeping, and he brings her back to life. And everybody made fun of Jesus, she's not sleeping, she's dead. And then she wakes up. He tells her, to wake up, daughter. And she wakes up, and he takes her by the hand and sets her up, and he tells him to give her something to eat. I'm pretty sure that's the one. And heals a sick woman. I'm pretty sure that is the woman that had the bleeding for 12 years. And she touched Jesus' cloak and was instantly healed. And Jesus felt the power leave from him. I'm pretty sure that is what we're going to talk about. Let's see what else. Jesus heals the blind and the mute. The workers are few. Yep. And then we're going to be reading Psalm 11, 7 verses, and Proverbs chapter 3, verses 11 and 12. I thought we finished up Proverbs 3, but I guess we did not. Okay. Okay, so let's get started with Matthew chapter 9. While he was saying this, a synagogue leader came and knelt before him and said, "My daughter has just died, but come and put your hand on her and she will live." Jesus got up and went with him, and so did his disciples. Just then, a woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. She said to herself, "If I only touch his cloak, I will be healed." Jesus turned and saw her. That's not how it went. I don't know if it was in other translations or another book of the Bible, maybe in Luke, John, because they all vary slightly. In other ones it don't say, or other variations, it doesn't say Jesus turned and saw her. It says there was a big crowd. The people were pushing up against each other, and Jesus felt power leave from him. And he's like, somebody touched me. And they're like, his disciples are like, people are literally banging into each other. How are you going to tell who touched you? And Jesus asked her whatever, and the woman came forward and told him why, But this is what this one says. Jesus turned and saw her And Jesus says, these are Jesus' words, "Take heart, daughter." In Jesus' words, he said, Jesus' words, "Your faith has healed you." And this is what he did say when he eventually did talk to her, when he found out it was her. So that is what happened. In Jesus' words, and the woman was healed at that moment, after bleeding for 12 years. When Jesus entered the synagogue leader's house and saw the noisy crowd and people playing pipes, he said, these are Jesus' words, "Go away. The girl is not dead, but asleep." In Jesus' words. But they laughed at him. I'm sure he was so used to, by then, having people laugh in his face and make fun of him, but it could not have been any easier. Always having people think you're stupid and making fun of you all the time when you know you're not. Had to make him feel so bad. Picture your brothers and sisters like you're the little brother. You're the little brother because you're the youngest, might as well say. Or maybe you're not even the little brother. Your brothers and sisters, though, making fun of you for everything you do, laughing at you, like you know you can very well do something. And they can't even do it even if they could, but they can't. And you know you can definitely do it. But they laugh and make fun of you because they think you can't. But he don't get mad. He never gets mad at us. Anyway, but they laughed at him. After the crowd had been put outside, he went in and took the girl by the hand, and she got up. News of this spread through all that region. Other books will go into greater detail about this, you'll see. As Jesus went on from there, 2 blind men followed him, calling out, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." When he had gone indoors, the blind men came to him and asked them, Jesus' words, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" And Jesus' words, "Yes, Lord," they replied. Then he touched their eyes and said, Jesus' words, "According to your faith, let it be done to you." In Jesus' words, and their sight was restored. Jesus warned them sternly, Jesus' words, "See that no one knows about this." In Jesus' words. But they went out and spread the news about him all over that region. I wonder, it seems like every time, or almost every time, Jesus cured somebody like that, whether it be their sight or what have you, he warned them. The only thing he warned them not to tell anyone. But everybody always went out, and that's the first thing they done was tell about Jesus. Do you think Jesus really did not want them to tell, or he really told them not to because he knew that's the first thing that they would really do, and he wanted the word really spread? Or do you think he really didn't want the word spread, and why? You don't think it was time yet? Because you think the word would have to be spread. And you know, more than likely, if you tell somebody not to do something, they're going to want to do it even more. And you see that here. Every time he told somebody not to do something, they went out and done it right then and there. Maybe that's what he knew too. Maybe that's why he done it. Because he told them not to do it. "See that no one knows about this," Jesus said. But they went out and spread the news about him all over that region. While they were going out, a man who was demon-possessed and could not talk was brought to Jesus. And when the demon was driven out, the man who had been mute spoke. The crowd was amazed and said, "Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel." But the Pharisees said, "Here we go. We know this is not going to be anything good about Jesus, don't we?" When they open their mouth, nothing good's going to come out of it. Unless they're wanting to be a smart aleck and try to trick Jesus in some way. But that ain't going to happen anyway. But the Pharisees said, It is by the prince of demon that he drives out demons. For real. How stupid do they even sound smarting off something like that? Think about that statement for a minute. And imagine Jesus putting them in their own place. Something like this. Was something like this as dumb as this? And Jesus putting them in their place. How dumb they must have felt. Was something like this. He's always putting them in their place, but was something like this even. I mean, like, come on. But the Pharisees said, it is by the prince of demons, Satan. It is by Satan that he drives out demons, that Jesus drives out demons, by Satan. If Satan drives out demons that are on his side, because demons ain't on God's side, demons work for Satan, how's Satan going to win if he drives himself out? Satan wants to drive out the good people, not the ones that are on his side. How stupid did the Pharisees sound right then when they said that? Jesus probably thought the same thing. Did you really just say that? And you're the teachers of the law? What are you teaching these people? No wonder the people liked Jesus there so much and loved Jesus so much as a teacher. They called Jesus teacher. They loved the way Jesus taught. He was so different from the teachers of the law that they were used to there, the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Jesus went through all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and sickness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Every time he says that, Jesus says that so much. I know he didn't say that here, it's said about him. But Jesus says it so many times. And other people say it about him because that's the way he acted. And he still acts towards us, his brothers and sisters. When he sees us and when he saw the crowds then, he had compassion on them, just like he does us today. So does God, our Father. That's why he hasn't came back yet. That's why he hasn't sent Jesus back yet to end the world. Because he has compassion on us. He wants more of us to be saved. He's given us time for more of us to be saved. They don't want any of us to be lost. But they can't wait forever, you know. Because they were harassed and helpless. That sounds like us today even more, doesn't it? We're harassed and helpless. We're like sheep without a shepherd, so many of us. We're the sheep and Jesus is the shepherd. So many of them are lost and need the sheep on this earth are lost and need their shepherd. So many of us are sheep and have our shepherd, and we need to keep our shepherd. We need to stay with our shepherd, closely to our shepherd, so we don't stray away from our shepherd. And we need to help the other sheep find the shepherd. And that shepherd will rejoice in that one lost sheep when he gets it over the 99 sheep that he already has in his flock. And we should too. And we should help bring that lost sheep into our flock. I just always love that. How Jesus always has compassion. And it's like the sheep and the shepherd. It just, shows his love. Sorry, the phone was going to ring. Then he said to his disciples, these are Jesus' words, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field." In Jesus' words, amen. Let's send out people teaching Jesus' words. Let's get pastors that actually do the job. There's so many people today that can become a pastor just like this. Go online and get a certificate, and a lot of them are doing it just so they can marry people with a certificate and get money for it and perform wedding ceremonies for their friends and stuff. It's not right. Before being a pastor, God had to call you to be a pastor. You had to fill it. It was about you and God. Not so anymore. A lot of people are doing it for the wrong reasons. And I know some people like that. And I really worry about their soul. Especially one person. It's a very scary thing. We need to put people out there, bring out more pastors and people out there, even if they don't want to be a pastor. Put more people out there that's going to be on God's side and help bring people in to the shepherd, bring sheep into the shepherd than we are. Or people's going to stay away from the shepherd, and that means they're over on Satan's side, or going to be over leaning more on Satan's side even further and further. And the further they stay away from God, the closer they are to Satan. The further we push them that way. Alright guys, that is where we're going to stop with Matthew today. Ending with Jesus' words, that's always good, right? Our psalm today is Psalm 11 for the director of music of David. In the Lord I take refuge. How then can you say to me, flee like a bird to your mountain? For look, the wicked bend their bows. They set their arrows against the strings, to shoot from the shadows at the upright in heart. When the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth. His eyes examine them. The Lord examines the righteous, but the wicked, those who love violence, he hates with a passion. On the wicked he will rain fiery coals and burning sulfur. A scorching wind will be their lot. For the Lord is righteous, he loves justice. The upright will see his face. And that is where we're stopping with our psalm. That was Psalm 11. That was all of Psalm 11. Only had 7 verses. And our proverb today is Proverbs chapter 3, verses 11 and 12. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves. As a father, the son he delights in. Amen. And once again, we're not talking about abuse. We're talking about discipline, not abuse. And you can be disciplined in many different ways. Many different ways. And not abuse. Just like a parent correcting their child, there's many different ways, and not abusive and mean. There's many different ways. If you didn't love your child, you would just let them do what they want. If you love your child, you would correct them and teach them right from wrong and how to respect and treat others and teach them about the Lord and teach them manners and everything. If you don't care about your child, you wouldn't want to discipline them. You wouldn't teach them manners. You wouldn't teach them about God. You would say, I don't discipline my kid. I let them do what they want because I love them. No, you're not loving them by doing that. You're setting them up for failure doing that. Because you think the world's going to cater to them being like that? No. And a lot of people's not going to like them being that way. Not everybody's going to spoil them like you are. And they're going to be spoiled brats, I must say. And that's not a way to live. That's not a good way to live. They're going to be brats. Going to be brats, and they're going to be mean. I've seen the difference. I have seen the difference. You know, God disciplines his children. He disciplines us on earth when he doesn't like the things we do. Sherm's asleep on the couch. Babe. Babe. Sherm.
Hmm?
Sherm, I'm getting ready to do the question.
Oh, alright.
Okay, we're ready for the homework
Okay,
now.
sorry.
We're ready for the home.
Sorry.
We're ready for the homework. Is this? Oh, wait. Where? Oh. Wait. Why do I do this?
I don't know. Why do you?
Who is going to be tied up in chains for 1,000 years? Is that the one I asked last?
No, it's the one for today.
Or did I ask how long did Jesus remain on earth?
It's the one for today.
The chains? Yeah, that's what I mean. Who is going to be tied up in chains for 1,000 years? And the answer you should have came up with is Satan. Satan. See, my book's all... I want to start marking it so I'll know where I'm at. But, and if the question wasn't that, if it was this, how long did Jesus remain on earth after he rose from the dead? That answer you should have came up with was 40 days. And he was seen by many people when he rose from the dead on Easter. 3 days after he was crucified, he was on earth for 40 days until he ascended alive to heaven. And this is the question. I'll fix this book when I go to my desk in there here in a few minutes. The question for tomorrow is, what was the name of Abraham's nephew? The one that was rescued from the land of Sodom or Gomorrah when God was destroying them. And his wife got turned into a pillar of salt for looking back when she wasn't supposed to. And his daughters were rescued with him. Crazy story about them that goes along with them after they leave, but that's not the question. This too is Abraham's nephew. All right, so let me go through the... Oh, maybe I'll talk about it when we get to that point. I don't know if I should, but no. Maybe not online. But to some of my friends, I really need to, because I really need to talk about it. Layla, Michelle. Lonnie Doles Jr. and family, Jimmy Myers, Abby Myers and Rhonda Karshner, Sherman Crabtree, Layla and her son Emil, Michelle Watkins, Judy Thompson, Cindy and Jim Welsh, Dora Carper, Garnet Boyer, Randy Post, Barb Post, Melody Stanley, April and Linda Thacker, Sammy, Paco, the family and friends of Stephanie Holstein, and Jim Mitchell. If you guys would like to subscribe, there should be a link in the bottom corner of the screen, and if you would like to watch another random video, There should be a link in the top right, or in the top corner of the screen. It's my stomach growling. If you heard it, I'm sorry. Like I said, I haven't been feeling well. My stomach's been messed up all morning. Again, it's off and on thing for like a week and a half now. It's different from my stomach disease. That's not what it is. It's something else. I don't know what's going on. It might be a stomach virus or something. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and I'll have some more videos up for you guys later, God willing. I want to get into the desk and get started working on things, and I think Sherm's going to take a nap. I'm going to get this uploaded for you guys. Layla, I can't figure out that the Sims 3 did load, but I can't figure it out. It's too hard for me. The Sims 2 is more my style, I guess. I can't figure out how to move the girl or anything. It's like really different from the Sims 2. Maybe you can tell me or something, because I can't figure out how to maneuver her around to get in the house or anything. It's like it's really different. Making the person's fine. That's about as far as I can get. And then I moved her into a place, but I can't figure out how to decorate it or move her inside of it or anything. But anyway, let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye guys. God bless.